Good afternoon. I'm Steve Rehorst, the Public Information Officer for the Watertown Task Force. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today. I apologize for the late start. However, we wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to view the governor's briefing here that took place at 3 o'clock today. So thank you again for joining us. I'll turn it over to Mayor Karen now with our community update.
Thank you. Today is April 15, 2020. Our COVID numbers in the state are up to 1,168. We still have 6 deaths, and Coddington County still has a total of 13 cases, and we are still showing that 11 of our cases have recovered. The measures we've taken are working, so this is really good. And I want to thank everyone for continuing to follow the CDC guidelines. These practices are simple and necessary. When we follow them, we control the spread of the disease. So I'm talking about maintaining the social distance of at least 6 feet from other people, staying home and avoiding others when you feel sick, avoiding crowds, limiting unnecessary travel, washing your hands frequently, and disinfecting shared surfaces often. These things really do work, and we should embrace them as our new way of life. Don't fight it. We're going to need to do these things to protect our vulnerable population and ourselves, at least until a vaccine is developed, and that could be a while. So let's just get used to it and focus on what we're able to do. I'm really impressed with how quickly people, children and adults of all ages, have been embracing the new technology, and we're video conferencing, and all kinds of different applications are available for that. And we've learned that our neighbors will come out to help when a need arises. We've learned that people will give generously of their time, their talent, and even their blood when the need arises. So we know we are a very strong, caring community, and yes, our lives have changed, but it's going to be okay. So with that, I would like to introduce Cindy Brookman, Coddington County Auditor, and she's going to talk about voting. Cindy?
Thank you and good afternoon. On June 2nd of this year, there will be a statewide primary election in South Dakota. Each county will have an election. In Coddington County, all polling places will be open as normal at this time unless something changes. We are going to take precautions to ensure the health and safety of our election workers and voters who choose to come out on election day to cast their ballot. On Friday, April 17th, early voting starts in South Dakota. The Secretary of State's office is going to be mailing an absentee ballot application to each voter in the state of South Dakota. When you receive that application in the mail, all you have to do is fill it out and return it to your local county auditor. In Coddington County, you can mail it or you can drop it off in the drop box at the south side of the courthouse. It does need to be either notarized, your signature has to be either notarized, or the application has to come back to my office with a copy of an approved photo ID. Some of those in the state of South Dakota, it would be your driver's license, a non-driver ID, a passport, a military photo identification, but it does need to be a photo ID. Once we receive those things, we can mail you a ballot, which you will vote at home. You can either mail it back to the county auditor's office, or in Coddington County, you can drop it off in the drop box at the south side of the courthouse. For those of you who may have trouble making a photocopy of your driver's license, we will accept an emailed photo of your driver's license. You can send those to the Coddington County Auditor's Office. If you go to the Coddington County website, you can find all of this information. We've recently updated it just this morning, and if you have any questions, you can call my office at 605-882-6297. Also, if you want to see what's on your primary election ballot, you can go to the South Dakota Secretary of State's website. That's sdsos.gov. When the screen comes up in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see elections. You click on that box. It'll take you to another box. Over on the far right-hand side, it'll give you options on view my sample ballot, check on my voter registration. You just click on that box. All you have to do is enter your name, your birth date, and your zip code, and your voter information will come up. It'll show you your precinct. It'll show you your address. In case you have not updated your address, it'll show you the last address that we have for you. It'll show you the party, and it will also show you a copy of your sample ballot, which may or may not affect on whether or not you want to vote in this primary election. One thing to remember is how you're registered to vote. I am not registered under the name Cynthia. I'm registered under Cindy, so you may have to try a couple variations of your name before you get the screen to pop up to give you your voter information. If you need to update your address before the primary, or if you want to change your political party before the primary, you must do so by May 18th. Those forms need to be filed in my office or the office of your county auditor by 5 p.m. on May 18th. South Dakota law does not allow for the electronic means of sending an absentee ballot application or a voter registration. You have to fill the form out, you have to sign it, and you have to send it back to your county auditor by U.S. mail, or in the case of Coddington County, you can put those in our drop box also. A couple of other things I wanted to touch on. This is property tax season. In the state of South Dakota, the first half of your property taxes are due by April 30th. There is no provision in law for counties to change that date. You can also use the drop box in Coddington County for that purpose. If you know what your taxes are, you can put your check in the mail, in the mail or in the drop box. And if you have a question on your property taxes, you can call the county treasurer's office. All of our phone numbers are listed on the county website. And another thing, the courthouse is closed to the public, but we do have staff on hand who are answering the phones. We are receiving a large volume of calls, so you may just have to keep trying. And I think that's about everything I've got today. And I will be available for questions.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Tim Sheehan with the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to talk today about our gift card radiothon. And many of you have probably heard about through the social media and our emails and whatnot. But we started this idea shortly after St. Patrick's Day when we found out that a lot of our members don't have the ability to sell gift cards on their website. So we created a link on our website and the opportunity for businesses to put their gift cards on there, and also for the public to go out and buy those. We made a small change since we started this. We've put up almost 100 businesses out there now, and with this new opportunity for the gift card radiothon to take place, it's really kicking off. We've looked for some sponsors. We found there's 11 sponsors now that have kicked up, and we'll talk about those here in just a little bit. But tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock, all the way till 5 o'clock, you'll have the opportunity to buy a lot of gift cards. Our sponsors have kicked in the monies that we're going to be used to match some of those. We don't have enough to go around, so what we're going to do is tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock, we're going to put $3,000 an hour on the clock. So everybody that buys a gift card per hour will be matched with some of those dollars. So it's really kind of a chance to win. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get your gift cards matched. The opportunity is there. Throughout the day, we've got Actually, the way we want you to do that is we don't want you to call. We want to have you go to our website, watertownsd.com, and there you're going to log in. You're going to create your account with your name, phone number, and email address, and all that fun stuff. And then after that, you'll have the opportunity to click on as many businesses and add those to your cart. You simply go to a checkout, add your credit card number in there, and we do the rest. It'll all happen by email after that. But I would like to thank several of our sponsors that have really stepped up in some of these businesses. This is not the really good time to be asking for donations and sponsorships, but Crestone Builders, Great Western Bank, the Watertown Development Company, Dakota Bank, Todd and Lynn Morris with the Realty Team, Watertown Ford Chrysler, Moffett Products, Relia Bank, Wind Supply, Plains Commerce Bank, and Farmers Implement and Irrigation. And just minutes ago, while I was sitting in the waiting wings out here, Shane from Hy-Vee called in and said, "Hey, I'm in. Let's get me on the list." So we just made a few more dollars to share that around. So questions about that can be directed to our watertownsd.com. A lot of that information is out there. A lot of you will see this on Facebook. And one tip I'd like to give people to think about is that while you're purchasing these cards, this is really a win-win for our businesses. The main reason for this is to save and help some of those businesses that are struggling. They're doing a great job doing the curbside pickup and the delivery, but this is a great way to do that. But once this is over and you have all these gift cards in your hand and you really can't wait to get out and spend them, is use those on a 50-50 method. So when you go to these restaurants, take a $25 card, use that, spend the other $25 with cash, because they're going to need cash flow now and they're going to need cash flow then as well. So any questions about that, reach our website, watertownsd.com, and we'll hopefully really raise a lot of funds for our businesses tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Karen and Cindy and Tim, for all that information there. A lot of good things happening out there, and some other good things I wanted to report here is we had mentioned earlier, Lake Area Tech is actually currently making masks and face shields for first responders and people in the medical profession. They're doing that. They're putting those together. However, right now they are in need of some supplies. One of the things that they are needing are, if you remember these from years ago in school, the overhead projector style sheets. They're looking for those to use on the face shields. We just ask that they're clear and that there's nothing on them so they can see through there, or any sort of plastic that's semi-rigid, so when they put it on there, it's not going to bend and misshape there. The other thing that they're looking for are rubber bands to help with those masks, and this here is a 3.5 inch by a 1/4 inch rubber band. They're going to use those on the masks. If you don't have overhead projector sheets or you don't have a rubber band, the other thing they're looking for is elastic as well to make those face shields, and they're looking for a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch elastic to work on those shields. When they get them all done, this is what they look like here. They have the rubber band on the back that helps secure it to the person's head, or the elastic on there, and then the clear plastic sheet goes on the front. So Lake Area Tech is looking for those items to help complete these face shields and get them out to the first responders and medical personnel. If you do have any of those items, you can drop those off at the Salvation Army. That's Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Salvation Army. They'll be taking those supplies, and then we'll have someone stop by and get those items to Lake Area Tech. The last thing I wanted to mention, if you look on our Facebook page, there's a really cool post there. It's called the Spring Self-Care Challenge, and there's an image on there, and I'd suggest to download that to your phone or your computer or whatever. There's a bunch of things on there, and I think, like the governor had said a while back, we need to pause and take a moment and make sure we're taking care of ourselves, and there's a lot of great things on there. Maybe there's a new recipe you want to try. You're really thinking about veggie burritos, that's what you want to try. Or maybe there's someone that helped you out a while back and you really haven't said thank you, and you take the time, write them a thank you note. Do something like that. Go for a walk, go fishing. It's just kind of a checklist to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and it's a challenge too. So take that, save that somewhere, and make sure you're taking the time to push that pause button and take care of yourself. So really think about what are you going to do today to take care of yourself. With that, I'll end the briefing today, and we'll move on to our media questions. So if there's anyone there in the media that has questions, now would be the time. All right, well, hearing no questions, we'll end the briefing today now, and I appreciate everyone for waiting for us to start today. Our goal is to start tomorrow at 3 p.m. If the governor does come on within that time or right around there, we will push it again to 3:30. So thank you, and we will see you tomorrow.